Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight on KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Joshua Robinson. Rain very much a part of the forecast today throughout the whole day. Only a few slight breaks here and there. Definitely prevalent in tonight's high school football games. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us now from the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, I know you were out there. You said it did dry up a little bit, but how much longer are we going to expect to see it before it gets wet again?
Yeah, that rain that we got at the beginning of the football games tonight was the end of the weather system from today. It has cleared up since then. Not expecting any more rain tonight in Spokane. Actually should be a dry start to the weekend, just not dry for the entire weekend. Just some light and leftover showers thinning out quickly, especially over the Sandpoint area and north of the Silver Valley. So really not expecting any more rain other than maybe a drizzle or two. Look at the storm system that moved through today. This ended up being about 1/4 of an inch of rain in some areas, a little bit more, especially off to the south and west of the Spokane region. But this isn't going to be the end of it. Tomorrow's going to be mainly dry. If you're hoping to get some dry hours this weekend, tomorrow bodes better than it does on Sunday, because once we get that steady rain back into the picture on Sunday, that's the way it's going to stay for several days in the forecast. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a very strong weather system known as a bomb cyclone is going to move into the western U.S., and we'll show you just why it's going to be as powerful as it is and who across the West Coast is going to see the worst of it.
Thank you, Thomas. New tonight, a story you will only see on KREM 2. 4 people are in custody in connection with a fentanyl ring that spanned 4 states and has ties to the overdose death of a freshman from Coeur d'Alene. The conspiracy, detailed in newly released court documents, stretched from Arizona to Washington and ran right through Spokane. Our Mark Hanrahan has tonight's story.
5 months after the overdose death of a 15-year-old Lake City High School freshman, federal investigators believe they have busted a multi-state fentanyl ring with ties to the teen's death. The ring, detailed in newly unsealed court documents, shows DEA agents arrested 4 suspects: Caleb Carr, Jamie Belovich, Hunter O'Mealy, and Matthew Gadina Pena. Investigators say the suspects were involved in a conspiracy to distribute 50,000 counterfeit pills believed to be made with fentanyl, cocaine, meth, LSD, and marijuana. The alleged operation stretched from Arizona up through Tacoma and over to Spokane, where a confidential informant helped agents connect the dots. In fact, documents show the informant made controlled buys of drugs in Spokane and Spokane Valley, helping those agents build their case. And investigators learned the suspects also had plans to ship thousands of suspected fentanyl-laced pills to Spokane. Beyond the drugs and the 15-year-old freshman who overdosed in Coeur d'Alene, agents allege associates of the suspects also have ties to the murder of 20-year-old Gabriel Casper, who was found dead lying on the street in Coeur d'Alene on Memorial Day. After months of investigating, the 4 people accused of running the multi-state fentanyl ring are now in custody. If convicted, they face 10 years to life in prison.
And that was our Mark Hanrahan reporting. There's so much more to the story that we didn't get a chance to include in it for you here tonight. To read much more on the alleged operation, including how agents were able to break it up, you can head to our website right now, krem.com. The man who brutally killed a homeless woman in Spokane back in March was sentenced today. 29-year-old Robert Meade was sentenced to 16 years behind bars after pleading guilty to second-degree murder and first-degree assault. According to court documents, an AMR employee driving in the early morning saw a person lying in the street on Farwell Road. That is when they found 24-year-old Grace Wiggins lying in the street naked with a plastic bag over her head. Meade told investigators that she had overdosed while she was at his apartment and admitted to dumping Wiggins' body. Spokane County Detective Nathan Bohannock was overwhelmed today while speaking during Meade's hearing.
How do we quantify the value of the life she will never have, her unseen dreams that can never be realized, and her family's love that she can no longer embrace?
One of Wiggins' friends gave us a statement last night saying, quote, "What Robert Meade did to this world by taking her could never be justified. Grace was so sweet, harmless, and a blessing to the world, and what he did was an act of cruelty." The final case related to the death of WSU student Sam Martinez wrapped up in court this week. In all, 15 people were charged in the death of the 19-year-old. Martinez died in 2019 at an Alpha Tau Omega pledge event. His cause of death was ruled as an acute alcohol intoxication. The longest sentence came down this week. Wesley Oswald pleading guilty to furnishing alcohol. He will spend 19 days in jail, pay a fine, take a drugs and alcohol class, and serve 2 years on probation. 7 other fraternity members faced similar sentences, but their jail sentences was only 1 day. 7 others have their cases to be continued to April of next year, and if they meet certain requirements, their cases will be dismissed.
And it rained for most of the day today. We're catching a break as of right now, but even more rainfall on the way most of next week. We're breaking down your weekend forecast coming up next.